Hey everybody, welcome back to today's day of Tabletop Games, where we are highlighting pride in the tabletop RPG community here on GoJG's channel. As a reminder, all of the donations being made today, please make donations, are going to be going to the Trevor Project, which provides life-saving services for LGBTQIA plus youths and folks of that ilk. So far, we have managed to raise a whopping $800 and something. I'm not looking at the exact number right now, but it's a pretty solid number, especially considering the initial goal is 500. I want to point out, because I'm this kind of person, every other game has raised at least $250. I want to raise 500 during this game. Ready, set, go, yeah! Yeah. In addition to that, we want to thank all the sponsors for today, Lucky Hand Dice, Heartbeat Dice, and Roll20. All of them have been a big help and are doing some really cool giveaways. So check out what they have to offer. They make good stuff. On that note, or not on that note, I guess, moving on to sort of the meat of the thing, we're going to go ahead and get started pretty soon here. So we'll begin with some introductions. I am Q. I'll be GMing today's game of Queer Heist Crew Multiverse Mashup, which is a game that I designed. It's a pretty simple game in terms of mechanics, based similar to something like Lasers and Feelings or Honey Heist. The gist of the game is that these four wonderful players here will be embodying various queer heisters, as it were. Think if you put Ocean's 11, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, and put it in a blender with a good mix of like the Scissor Sisters, basically, is where we're going with this. So yeah, and so they're going to be doing some totally off the deep end stuff. This is a game where we're really going to be working the improv chops because there are very few limitations on the setting. It is, in fact, a multiverse mashup. So other than me, which, I guess I should mention, hi, you can find me on Twitter at polyamorous_Q or on my game design account at Q_game_design. And you can buy my games, including this one, at my itch.io page, Quintessential Gaming, where this game is sold as well as several others. My Belonging Outside Belonging game, Dream of Flame, was part of the itch bundle for racial justice, if any of you picked that up, so that's in there. I encourage you to check it out. All my other games are free right now until the US is out of quarantine, which might be a while. So yeah. Anywho, that's me. We'll go ahead and go around the horn here. We'll get started with Rain, if you will, please.
Hi, that's me. I'm the Rainbow Bard. I will be playing Grit tonight. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that yet. I'm a streamer here on Twitch and Twitter, and I'm really bad about talking about myself. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll move on to Beans, please.
Hi, I'm Beans. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Will, who use he, him pronouns.
Okay, Corvin.
Hey, I'm Corvin Appleby. I use they, them, or she, her pronouns. I'm going to be playing Hutch, who uses he, him pronouns. I do a lot of like writing and just general internet lurking, kind of. You can find me on Twitter at Corvin Appleby.
Okay, and last but not least, Britt.
Hi, I am Britt. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me at Feeling Fickle. You can find the games I make at feelingfickle.itch.io, and I will be playing Monty Maxim, whose pronouns are also they, them.
Awesome. And with that, I think I didn't miss anybody, right? I got everyone? Good, just checking. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a bit of intro narration because that's the kind of person I am, and then we'll jump into the game itself. So, you can feel the light vibration in your whole body. It rumbles in your feet, resting lightly on the finely carpeted floor. You feel it in the new cushions of the bench seats you're sitting on. Even the polished table between you shakes slightly, numbing your palms and creating ripples in your drinks. Out the window beside the table, you watch the countryside race past you, sun beating down on the dusty prairie. You can just barely hear the whistle from the front of the train, announcing your presence to the rabbits and the grass. The train smells like good coffee, good liquor, and good food, with just the slightest whiff of the frigid mist that the engines release when they're done taking all the heat from the magma crystals used to power them. In the distance, you see a skyline coming into view. Buzzard Bluff, all metal buildings and glaring lights. Powered by magma crystals and lunar converters, it's never nighttime in some parts of the city. It's a far cry from the sleepy town Buzzard Bluff was a decade or two back, before the multiverse gate found itself stuck here. The four of you are riding on the Starlight Serenade, the finest tread train this side of the Arico River. Of course, your tickets onto this train were stolen, as are the invitations you all have to the Judges' Ball. The ball is a masquerade held each year at the Manse Justicar, a massive building built atop a mesa on the outskirts of Buzzard Bluff. The Manse Justicar serves as the home for the judges, the council that rules over Buzzard Bluff, as well as being where they hold court, make decisions, and serve punishment to those who defy their will. You are making your way to the Judges' Ball not to carouse and drink and have a fine time, but instead to steal the gate keys from the judges. When brought together, the keys give whoever holds them the ability to open and close the multiverse gate at will, and the judges wield an incredible amount of power and influence across the multiverse as a result. You've been hired by a rebel faction to remove that power from them. All you need to do is get one key. As you each sit at the table, thinking about what you set out to do, a finely dressed individual comes forward, bearing a tray on a practiced, steady hand. They place it on the table, presenting your dinner, and then bow lightly before leaving the car empty, save for the four of you. At this point, I'd like each of you to describe your characters, giving us their name, pronouns, and any other basic information, their physical descriptions, and what meal they have ordered. You can go in any order you'd like.
I could start. Cool. So I think Monty is, if this were a shot in a movie, is in silhouette at first, kind of leaning against a wall of the train. And as the food comes in, they kind of turn around quickly, and we get the full look, which leans. I should say Monty Maxim, they them pronouns, is a noir hacker. And their look leans maybe a little more neo-noir than kind of OG noir. They wear a fitted black suit with a thin tie, and they are always carrying a briefcase in hand. And they have, I think for this mission, they have like a little array of like beaded tassels that kind of go around the shoulders of their suit. And they'll kind of saunter over to the table to sit and eat. And I think their meal is something not messy, something maybe pretty simple. I'm trying to think of what would not be messy, like, I don't know, steak and carrots or something, like just real basic. There's not much to it. And they kind of just pick at it.
Okay. Who'd like to go next?
I can go next. I am Grit. He, him. He's very tall, lanky, kind of black hair that's just kind of just like mine, but black. And he's a dystopian thief who's here to do the right thing. He believes in making a difference in the world, and he ordered a basic plate of some white rice and steamed veggies, hopefully local, so it's not, to lower his carbon footprint, because he cares about that on a magic train.
Okay.
So sitting next to him, to Sorry, what was your character's pronouns again? I was so busy thinking about my character description that I'm like, I don't know anything.
Grit is he, him.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Thank
So sitting next to him, kind of like twirling a little plate of spaghetti at the same time while a book in his hands, kind of faded, like he's got a nice fade cut going on, dark brown skin. He's wearing a plaid shirt. No, sorry, a striped shirt with a plaid like shirt on top of it. And the book he's reading is 101 Magic Tricks Anytime, Any Place. And he's like, I am playing the sci-fi muscle who's not quite sure what a heist is. He knows that you're going to rob some things, but he's like, I need to be prepared. So he's got his magic book ready to go. So just twirling spaghetti, having a good time.
That'll do.
Okay. Hutch is, when I think of like a physical description of Hutch, like the first thing I think of is like a pocket knife, like very sharp, not quite small, but like kind of compact. You know, he's got kind of this like density about him, even though he's not a particularly large person. He has a lot of like weight in the way he carries himself. As far as like wardrobe, you know, he is a dark and gritty. So my immediate go-to is kind of like Matrixy outfit inspired. And he has ordered a cup of black coffee to give him a buzz and a corned beef sandwich for that carb protein mix. Which sounds like a horrible combination, and it is, but he'll never admit it.
That'll do. So as the four of you sit at the table, the countryside passing you by, eating or picking at your food as the case may be, we need to go ahead and do one more thing mechanically where we're going to, you can do this in character or out, I'm fine either way, but we need to go ahead and determine at least the general outlines of what your plan is going to be. The way this works is each of you are going to pick one of the following three options: sneak, smash, or socialize. This will determine when you get to roll heist as opposed to when you get to roll queer. Basically, so you'll pick what part of the plan you're going to be doing. If you're sneaking, you're going in unnoticed, you're in disguise, crawling through the vents, or turning invisible. If you're smashing, you're going in loud, you're blowing the door off the safe, machine gunning down armed guards, or taking out laser firing robots with your trusted sword. And if you're socializing, you're going in openly. You're distracting the key target, schmoozing with the head of security, or convincing a bumbling assistant to let you in somewhere you shouldn't be. So I'd like each of you to pick which of those three you'll be in. You can all do the same. You can all do different. It doesn't matter so long as you know which one is your sort of core component of the plan. And the reason this matters mechanically, whenever you take an action that has to do with the part of the plan you've chosen, you get to roll an additional, you get to roll heist. If you're doing something that doesn't line up with that, you roll queer. Does anyone have thoughts immediately?
Would take sneak, most likely. As a thief, I don't see myself blowing up doors or schmoozing with anybody. I would much rather be behind the scenes, so I think that's perfect.
Okay.
I was likewise thinking sneak could be fun.
Okay.
I'm torn between sneak and smash. Definitely not socialize. I'm gonna say smash because I think, you know, there's kind of a very directness in that.
Okay. What about Will?
I think Will was torn between sneak and socialize because I think Will likes the idea of like going to a big party. He's like, oh, wait, we're gonna meet people, and like really wants to chat.
Okay. So is that socialized then, or are you still deciding?
I'll probably socialize.
Okay. So we got Will doing socialize, Grit and Monty doing sneak, and Hutch doing smash. Cool. I will ask you all to help me remember that as you roll things. Thank you. Awesome. So as you guys discuss the sort of finalize your pieces of the plan as you roll in, the camera sort of zooms out the window of the train car, and what we see as we get there is the sun beginning to set in the background, and we finally get a full picture of this train, which is running not on railroad tracks, but instead on. It does not have wheels. It has treadmills. Each car is on a treadmill, and it sort of chugs across the desert. And then as we see the entirety of the train, probably about a dozen cars long or so, you see the front car, the engine, run up to the base of a mesa. For those of you who don't know what that is, very tall, like straight up and down sides thing that's going to be flat on the top, sort of pretty standard feature in some parts of the American Southwestern Desert. And as this train car comes up to the vertical face of the plateau of the mesa, the treadmill moves around to the front of the car and continues moving vertically up the surface of the plateau, the car lifting like an elevator. And this repeats for every car in the train. And as you go up, you all sitting in the train car, as the frigid mist from the front of the engine sort of floats in place or falls down, the windows around you frost up. And then eventually, the train cars reach the top of the plateau and travel forward along the mesa. You all continue moving forward until you pull up at the apex of sunset to the front of the Mats Just a Car. The train rounds a corner. The entire train can come to a halt in this courtyard in front of this massive complex of buildings. The four of you disembark from your car, and you find yourselves in a mostly empty space, xenoscaped with rocks and cacti on top. And standing large in the center of the courtyard, you see a statue of what you know to be a judge. It is a large stone statue, probably 20 feet tall, standing on the top like a 5-foot pedestal. And it is just of a humanoid individual. Features are fairly indistinct, wearing what you know to be the judge's uniform, which is something like if you were to take the robe of like a judge in like the USA, sort of standard like black long robes. If you put that and combine it with a nun's habit and body armor and gave them cowboy boots. That is the uniform of a judge. So that is this statue is that individual, sort of arms folded behind their back, standing up very straight. And then past that, you see the large front doors to the main building of the complex. I would like to know what the four of you do. Are you all entering through the front doors, or is anyone going a different direction here? You do all have tickets if you would like to just go in the front door, to be clear.
I would just be going in the front.
Yeah, we'll be walking right in. Ticket in hand.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think if we have a way into the front door, we should take it.
Okay, cool. Four of you walk in, walk past the sort of the folks who are checking invitations, who are two of the guards here. The guards here are they're sort of like generally humanoid individuals, but they all have some sort of cyborg enhancement. And when I say cyborg, I mean steampunk. So one of them might have a brass arm that releases that sort of same frigid mist as the train. Another one might have sort of robotic brass eyes, that sort of thing. And they're all wearing matching masks, by which I mean dark sunglasses. And at this point, as you walk in, I want to know what all of your masks look like as you presumably put them on. This is, after all, a masquerade.
Mine isn't particularly outstanding or anything. It's just like a basic yellow, probably very similar to the pan yellow. And it's just like a standard mask, kind of comes up with like a cat eye shape. And then on the corner will be little black lines. And that's it.
Will do.
I think mine is like just a fedora, like a noir style hat that they wear really tipped over their head, so it does like this harsh shadow across their eye.
Oh, that's good.
Will has a kind of like just the dip mask, but like lots of feathers, like very like lots of blues and greens, sequins, like super flashy. Does not like go with what he's wearing at all. Just very like very clashing and just he's very excited about it though. It's a very good look in his mind.
For Hutch, like a 5-point star, I think that Hutch's mask is like the top 3 points.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right, that'll do. Okay, so the four of you make your way in, hand your invitations to the guards at the door, who take them and give you no gruff about it. And the four of you walk in. There is a long hallway with several closed doors. There's obviously intentionally intimidating and impressive all at once, in a fine material from both this universe and others. It is very strange to see two-dimensional architecture in a three-dimensional place, and yet it exists. You walk down the hallway and eventually come to a large set of doors that are swung wide open, that lead into the ballroom. The ballroom itself, as you step in, there is live music playing. The floor is marble, but the veins in the marble are lightly pulsing neon rather than sort of the standard, black or gold. There are gilded columns, light fog in the air. It's sort of a dimly lit ambiance. The music being played, if anyone is interested or gets close enough to like really pay attention to it, is an interesting collection of people. It is a Vocaloid singer with 3 or 4 instrumentalists. One person playing a calliope, which is a carnival organ. One person playing a hang drum, another person playing an automaton, and a 4th person on a hurdy-gurdy. So, yeah.
So good.
I like to think so. And there is a just incredible diverse collection of people from all across the multiverse in here, all of whom you assume are rich and powerful. Whatever your feelings about that may be. So, the 4 of you are in the ballroom. What do you do next? Or if anyone would like to have not come into the ballroom, that is also fine.
I feel like it may have been a better idea to discuss our plan before we got in here.
We can pretend you did that, right? Like, if any of you are familiar with Blades in the Dark, I'm perfectly happy to do flashbacks.
Okay, cool. So I already forgot how many. I know you said we only need 1 key, but each of the judges has a key, and there's how many judges?
There are 5 judges. I think there's an indeterminate amount of keys. 5 is a fine number. If you want to go with that, you only need to get 1, because that removes the monopoly from the judges. Is the key thing here.
Okay.
It puts some power in someone else's hands.
Would we know which of the judges is the easiest to get to?
So I think that's a difficult one. I guess the answer is there is no such thing as easy to get to when it comes to the judges, right?
Right.
These are the most powerful people that exist, period. You have not signed on for an easy job. You're all going to be paid very handsomely.
Did we know where the keys are being kept, or is that something we're gonna figure out here?
So I'm happy if you have an idea for where a key is being kept. I'm happy to hear it. I, the GM, don't know. I'm happy for that to be a thing your characters do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Monty would have tried to like hack a system before getting here to see if they could figure out if there's like a super secret vault or something in the area that a key might be kept in.
Monty, you're doing sneak? Okay. Go ahead and give me a heist roll for that to see how well your hacking went.
Can I help out in a crew way of some sort?
Sure. Can you tell me how you did that?
Sure. Let's see. When they were looking up the information, I was asking around on the street, seeing if anybody knew of any tips of where they might look.
Okay, sure. I'll take that. That'll do. Yeah, sure. So what I need you to do then, Grit, is roll crew for me.
Okay.
And so it's going to ask you how many dice to roll. So the way that dice works is default, you'll roll 1. You always roll at least 1. You get a bonus die for, you get a bonus die if your specialty applies, which in this case, yours is, you're a thief.
Sneaks, not really.
No, not that one. Thief. For you, yes, thief. So probably not dystopian. I don't think applies here either. And you'd also get a bonus die if someone was helping you, but you're doing the helping, so you get to roll 1 die for this one.
Awesome.
And you're rolling against, I guess you're rolling against queer here. Oh no, you're rolling crew. Excuse me. Absolutely rolling crew. Duh. Yeah, so that's a success with a 2, which is well under a 9. So yeah, and so for the audience, the way that this works is they'll be rolling against whatever their stat is. Grit has a 9 in crew. He rolled a 2, and thus he succeeds. So that means that when Monty gets to roll in just a second here, they will get to roll an extra die for that successful help. So Monty, I want you to roll heist for this hacking you are doing.
Cool.
This is definitely sneaking, which is why you're getting to roll heist. You're a hacker, so I'll give you a bonus die for this, for sure, for that. So this is 3 dice, I think, unless you want to tell me why noir comes into play.
I can monologue while I'm hacking. If you want me to.
Sure, you know what? If you want to do it, I will give you the die for it. That sounds great.
Okay, I can't believe I put myself in this corner. Just for 1 die. Sure. So it's really dark in the room where I'm hacking right now. What I hack with is a briefcase that I carry with me. I open it up, and inside it's like kind of like a switchboard, like an old telephone operator kind of switchboard. So it's like a lot of plugs and jacks that I move around, and then I feel like there's like maybe some like telegraph like things like that you would do the Morse code with that they kind of hit around. And while they're doing this, they'll say, everyone I worked with before, a bunch of can openers, the lot of them. I'm done. Always looking at the job right in front of them instead of the better one 10 steps ahead. I'm ready for a challenge, and this is it.
Incredible. Yeah, you get 4 dice. Ready, go.
So I just hit heist.
Yes, you push the heist button. It'll ask you. There'll be a drop down that pops up asking you how many dice to roll.
Okay. And so I do 4.
4. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I got 1 success.
That's exactly. That's the most you'll ever get. You actually rolled 4 successes, but it doesn't matter.
Nice.
1 is the only thing that matters. Yep.
Perfect.
So yeah, so you succeed. So I think what you find is, I guess, you know what? Tell me what you found out. What is the thing you found out? Where is the key being held?
Cool.
I'm happy to say something for you if you don't have any great ideas.
I mean, I'm probably gonna like lean into like some Ocean's 11 shit. So if you have something you like more, feel free to jump in.
No,
but I feel like it's like
good for me.
There's like a vault under the judge's ball, and maybe it's just one judge's vault that none of the others know about or something. But it's like this specific space. It's probably accessible through a bunch of hallways. I'm seeing lots of walking in hallways. to get there. And yeah, I feel like a ball.
And it's directly underneath the ballroom, is what you're saying?
Yeah, directly underneath the ballroom.
Good. I am fully in favor of that. All right, sweet. So you know that there's a key is being hidden in some sort of room directly beneath the ballroom. Okay. So jumping back to the current point in time, the four of you are walking through this hallway. Does anyone not go into the ballroom?
Do we know how to get from the ballroom to the below room? Like, do we know?
I think you have a general idea. I don't know if you know. You don't have like precise blueprints or whatever, but you got something close as part of.
Okay, it's not just like hope we find some dynamite and blow our way down there.
You guys are competent and more capable than that.
Okay.
And also, if someone wants to be carrying dynamite, that is also a thing I'm fine with.
I don't think I would have it.
Fair enough. Just throwing that out there. That feels like potentially a thing Will as the muscle might have, or Hutch, I guess, as the dark and gritty thief.
But yeah, I would go into the ballroom as well. I'm not splitting off.
Okay, so the four of you make your way into the ballroom.
Yeah, I think I'm looking for, I mean, it may be in the ballroom, but I'm probably looking for a place where I'm seeing a lot of wait staff travel or performers go to and fro.
Yeah.
Any kind of like exit that is like
okay.
that.
I think go ahead and let's make a roll to see if you know what? No, let's not roll for that. That's pretty apparent. Yes, there's a bunch of waitstaff that are obviously making their way through the ballroom itself at all times. You are competent and capable, and you know that as you watch them sort of walk through, you can see the doors in the ballroom that they are primarily coming in and out of. I think there's a pair on the far wall away from the entrance door that you all came in, and presumably everyone came in. That is where the wait staff are making their way in and out of.
I think maybe I don't know how much our characters have planned, maybe even in character. I am like, I want to find my way in through the wait staff.
I asked something up front, like, do we have like communicators?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Tell me what they look like and I'll give them to you.
I was thinking just like kind of like a sleek, small, like in-ear piece.
I'm on board with that. Works for me. Simple, clean. That'll do. Yeah.
Mine are gonna look like AirPods, but they're. Let's see. I'm trying to make a pun here, and it's not working. They'll go with NairPods because when you put them in, they slowly melt your brain in the dystopian world, right? Boom.
Oh, good.
It's an AirPod. NairPod.
Jeez.
Please don't sue me, Apple.
Or Nair, for that matter.
Yeah, right.
Good. All right, cool. So yeah, y'all have your earpieces. So yes, you do have communications. Monty has expressed that they are going to make their way to try to get in through the waitstaff doors. Is anyone accompanying them? Or is anyone else doing anything else in particular? Okay, Hutch is going with Monty?
Yeah, I think Hutch is going to follow Monty at a sufficient distance so it doesn't look like they're together, but Hutch is going to keep lookout in case it seems like anyone is coming from behind Monty. So basically he's like covering Monty's six.
Cool. That'll do. Like 15 or 20 feet behind or whatever. Cool. That'll do. So then I want to know, Will and Grit, the two of you are staying behind in the ballroom, doing something else? Are you?
I would like to stay behind in the ballroom near where they entered and seemingly look busy, but be eavesdropping with my NairPod's ability to active listen
Cool.
and hear what the wait staff or anything, just anything out of the ordinary, if they are like intruders or whatever, basically listening for intel.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a second. What about Will?
So Will is gonna mosey on out to the dance floor and trying to find a partner, while at the same time just kind of like keep an eye out for trouble and ready to like smack down if he's gotta. But he's like, I want to dance first. See, like two birds, one stone. Try to like make his way through and see if he can also find someone with like a little more information about what this thing they're looking for at the same time.
Okay. Are you looking for a type of person in particular?
Maybe like a little bit of a wallflower, just someone who's like maybe like, oh, I want them to dance, but I don't know, kind of thing.
Okay. I think there's a fair number of people who are already out on the dance floor. There's also people who are not dancing but don't fit the wallflower mode very much, right? They're either clearly like, I am not interested in dancing, or are just like busy chatting with people or whatever. But there's a handful, I think, of folks who are sort of standing awkwardly. One of them is an individual who is standing on hind legs, probably about 8 feet tall. This is a bear with a pair of large ivory-colored antlers, wearing a sort of golden masquerade mask with swirly embossed designs, not too unlike Grit's mask, actually. Probably a little more golden as opposed to yellow on the mask, but similar in design, pretty standard masquerade mask. And they are sort of standing, looking a little awkward.
We'll go up to him, to the bear, and we'll just be like, would you like to join me for a dance? And we'll like bow and put out his hand, just kind of wait with his like plaid shirt stripes.
Okay, so I think there's yes, I would love to dance. And they take your hand and you lead them out onto the dance floor. I would like to get a roll from you to see if you get anything useful out of this.
Ooh.
So this is socialized for sure. So you make a heist roll for this.
Cool.
Okay.
One success.
Yes, it was. That was a success. Okay. So then I think in this, you managed to get them to chat a little bit. And I think they mentioned something about seeing just a lot of those. They have seen like fewer guards than they would have expected here. They figured it would be more well protected, and so they're a little like the way they're presenting it is like being concerned for their safety on some level, but also being like, but like it's where the judges are, like it's probably fine. I don't know what's going on. I just know that I expected to see more like guard presence here. So I think the thing you get from that is that I guess you're not totally sure how to interpret that, other than there are fewer, and now that it's mentioned to you, notice it, there's not a large number of visible guards here. You don't know if there are guards who are undercover, if they're somewhere else, if there's just actually not a lot of guards here. You're not sure.
Well, we'll thank him for telling that. He's like, yeah, it is rather peculiar that there are not a lot of guards protecting this, but if anything happens, I will do my best to protect you. And we'll just give like a little bow. Just like, I want to make sure everyone's okay.
Thank you. And the bear like bows in return and like awkwardly like turns so their antlers don't hit you on the head. I am very appreciative of your kind offer, but I can quite take care of myself. Thank you. Big sharp teeth.
Will like smile back and like we'll notice his like eyes flash green and then go back to like a normal brown.
Just you get an eyebrow raise, an instant eyebrow raise.
kind of like a knowing smile, and then we'll bow. It's like, thank you for dancing with me, and we'll like slowly make his way back to see where everybody else is doing.
All right, Grit. So you're standing at which door was it? Was it the waitstaff doors or the entrance door?
waitstaff where they went.
You're sitting there,
through.
and you're sort of trying to eavesdrop.
Yeah, just making sure that they were able to make it in without being noticed. Essentially, I want to like if they know that they're there, I want to be able to be like, hey, they know you're here. But if they don't, then I'm probably gonna.
So then, in that case, I want Monty and/or Hutch to do a roll for me to see if they were noticed. As the two, I guess, Hutch, did you actually go through the doors, or were you just watching Monty go through?
I think Hutch went through the doors as well.
So then, I think what I want there is I want a Monty. I want a queer roll from you. No, this is you're doing sneak. This is a heist roll from you. But first I want a crew roll from Hutch to see if watching your 6 is useful.
Okay.
So Hutch, this is a thief thing, so I think you would get a die for that. So 2 dice here.
2 dice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That is a failure. Oof. Oh no, you have 1 success with the 8.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. So you succeed. Cool. Okay. So on that one, so that's a +1 die for you, Monty. If you want to go ahead and roll that heist for me, please. So you get 2 dice off that. I think that's it, unless you want to do another monologue or convince me this is Nora in some way.
It's just going to be a thing. It's me trying to convince you everything's Nor. I don't think they'll monologue here. What if they tip their hat at someone and go into silhouette for a moment as they sneak through the crack in the door?
Perfect.
Thank you.
3 dice.
Beautiful. That's a success.
Yes, it is. Just barely, but it counts.
Take what I can get.
Yep, that'll do. Okay, so the 2 of you managed to sneak in successfully. I think so. Grit, you don't hear any chatter that says that they've been noticed as of yet, anyway.
Okay.
I will keep in mind that as of now you're listening to that. Should anything change, but for now, they're in smoothly so far as you can tell. And I think you presumably relay that to them.
Right. Yeah, cool. Definitely. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, sounds like you guys are clear.
Okay. Cool. So I want to know, Hutch, tell me what this looks like past this door for the waitstaff.
What's behind the door?
Mm-hmm. Is this a hallway? Is this a kitchen? What's going on back here?
Say, there's probably a hallway, but like the kitchen is like right. You know, the first thing on the right is the kitchen, and I think the first thing on the left is a service elevator, and then as it goes down, there are other like, you know, utility closets and dumb waiters and like other kind of like essential behind the scenes rooms that no one would really have a reason to need to go into unless they were fixing a problem.
Makes sense. Okay. So then where are the 2 of you going? Are you heading straight to the elevator?
I think that would work.
You go. Sorry.
I think that would be a good idea, probably. You know, if we're going in on the intel of we need to get immediately below us, I think it would make sense for us to try to get on the service elevator.
Okay. The 2 of you go to the service elevator. There is no down button on the elevator.
While we're here, are there any like uniforms around?
Good question. I want you to make a roll to see if you can steal some uniforms from a supply closet without anyone noticing. So this feels like a. This is another heist. I think is what this is. Is anyone helping in any way?
I think maybe the closet is locked and Hutch assists by picking that lock.
Okay, cool. Roll a crew for me, Hutch. You get a bonus die for being a thief, so 2 dice. And if you can convince me it's dark and gritty. Ooh, bummer. Oh, bad news, friend.
So that's a complete failure.
Okay, so what happens when you fail on crew is it means that you are vulnerable to complications from failures on Monty's roll. And Monty does not get the bonus dice.
Okay.
Yeah, so no bad thing yet, but we'll see. So that's a good time to roll double 12s.
Yeah.
As it were. Okay, Monty, so you're rolling a heist. I think you're just getting 1 dice here, unless you can convince me otherwise.
Is the one, can I include sneak in that, or does that already include sneak?
Sneak is why you're rolling heist instead of queer.
Gotcha, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
It's a success.
So that's a success, but it's a 10, so it's a success with complication. So that's the thing about this about this system is when you draw your number, it is a success with complication, mixed success, as it were, which Hutch also gets to be implicated in. Fun. So I think you are unable to pick the lock, but you are able to wait until someone arrives for their shift and open the door, and then shove them in the closet. The complication here, of course, is that there is a person tied up in the closet. So the 2 of you have uniforms, but it's a matter of time until someone finds out that 2 people matching the descriptions have stolen some uniforms.
That's fine.
Oh, totally fine. What could go wrong?
I've had worse.
Fair.
Yeah.
So we'll jump back out. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to add, can I put my briefcase on a dumbwaiter, under the tablecloth or something?
For sure.
Perfect.
Yep, totally. Okay, so we'll jump back out to the ballroom. Will, you've just finished a lovely dance with a stag bear. What are you doing now? Are you trying to gather more intel? What's the rest of your plan here? Are you just here as backup in case things go south?
I'm here in case things go south. I'm probably gonna find another dance. Like they're taking longer than I thought. I'm gonna find another partner, but constantly looking over my shoulder.
Sure. I think you are looking around the. You know what? Actually, can you just give me a queer roll, 1 dice? This is just like a coin flip, as it were, to see what happens here. See who you end up dancing with.
Yeah. Let's roll some queer, shall we? Success.
Okay. So I think you find someone else who's looking a little wallflowery. This is a young woman with long hair that falls all the way down her back, and she's wearing sort of like a short pleated skirt, tight blouse with a big bow on the chest. She's got really big eyes and sort of very tall boots on. And on her back, she's got sort of a, it looks almost like just a long metal or wooden skateboard almost with some folded up fabric on it. And you go up to her. What do you say when you approach her? She sort of stands a little awkwardly looking in up against the wall.
I do a nice very gentlemanly bow, and I'm like, would you join me for this dance?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. Hi. Oh gosh, I'm just so excited to be here. I've never been to one of these before. My name's Solar Sailor.
I've I've never been to one of these either.
Oh, wow, that's so exciting.
This is so much fun. It's just like, come dance with me.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, gosh. Oh, I love this song too. Okay. And she hops onto the dance floor excitedly with you. And I think the two of you have a great time, and I think you get absolutely nothing useful from her.
Yeah, I'm just like, I was not expecting just going how the last dance was very like business. I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yep. No, and she's here to have a great time. She's a good dancer too.
Yeah,
In
most
case
of us have a
anyone,
good time.
the description I've written down for this person is magical girl / treasure planet. So that's that person. Oh, I should mention her mask. She's just got a tuxedo mask on. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
What
Cool.
else would it be?
What else would it be, really? Grit, are you doing anything, or are you still just listening in? Presumably they have informed you, I'm assuming, that they have left a person in the closet.
Yeah. So upon hearing that, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way for me to get to the closet, get to the person they knocked out, and basically just be like, oh man, did you see those 4 elephant people that were in here with their purple spots? And basically just try, as soon as they're up and still kind of dazed, just fill their mind with so many random descriptions that they can't remember what happened versus what they're remembering. That way they just kind of need to go home because they can't sort it out.
Sure. So you're trying to be the first, you want to be the first person they see, basically, and just fill their head with bullshit.
Yes, I want to go to the room and basically like coax them awake and then be like, oh man, I'm so glad you're okay.
Okay.
Why do you have all the oranges?
Okay, in that case, I think I would like you to go ahead. I need a roll for this. What was your sneak? Okay, this is
I'm
not
sneak,
sneaking. So yeah, okay. So I want a queer roll from you on this one.
Okay, just 1 dice.
This is not thieving for sure. I don't think this is particularly dystopian.
It kind of is in the way that the dystopian world is one that is filled with lies and deceit, and you must figure out the truth mixed in with all of the dark lies.
Yeah, no, I'll give you props for experience with propaganda.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and roll 2 dice for me on that one then. Jeez.
So that's good, right?
Let's see. Yeah, that's good. That is a success for sure. So I think what you're able to do is you manage to get in and sort of get over to the closet, get the door open, and sort of stir them awake. What exactly do you say?
So when they wake up, I want to ask what they remember. Be like, oh man, do you remember what happened at all? And then
there are these 2 guys, these 2 people, and like they totally like they shoved me in this closet before I could even change. I was like, I'm still wearing my flip-flops, and then they tied me up, and then they knocked me out, and oh my god.
I saw 3 really short people leave. They looked maybe even like kids. One of them had like green hair and one of them had purple and pink hair, and they booked it, man. I saw them come out there with your clothes. I don't even know why they had them. They're not going to fit you.
Wait, with my clothes? But I'm still wearing my clothes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's flip-flops here.
Maybe they have some weird technology, man.
Yeah, super weird. You should go home and rest.
Oh yeah, I totally should. I'm gonna call in today, man.
That's a good idea.
Totally. Oh, I hope Julie can make it and cover my shift, man.
Oh, I'm sure she can.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, totally. I got your back. You can trust me.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm just gonna walk this way very slowly because I definitely have a concussion. Totally.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Walk it off.
Sweet. Yep. Awesome. So that guy's good to go. Well done. Well done there, Grit.
Yay. So after I do that, I would want to catch up with them.
Okay, cool with the other two. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So Monty, Hutch, and Grit, you are well, I guess Monty and Hutch, what are you doing? You now have the two of you are in waitstaff uniform. You have a sort of a cart under which is Monty's briefcase. Grit, did you get a uniform on too while you had the opportunity?
Yeah,
Okay.
I went ahead and snuck one on.
Cool. Okay, so the three of you now are in waitstaff uniform and have a cart of some variety of food service tray. Where are you going? Are you back in the ballroom? Are you sort of like looking at other doors? What's the deal here?
I think this would be a good time to get into the kitchen.
Okay. So the two of you make your way into the kitchen. Inside the kitchen, it is a bustle of activity. All sorts of people in here doing all sorts of stuff, preparing more dishes than you could count, much less name, from all sorts of strange universes. You have extremely anime ramen, and also like literally just bird seed, and several very nice looking steaks. Like it's just a mess back here. You don't know how anything is straight. How do you even cook with two-dimensional ingredients? I don't know. Like it's bananas back here. So it's like take any restaurant kitchen and just multiply it by 1,000. So it's utter chaos back here. Are you looking to find anything in particular? Are you just sort of making your way through? Because there's at least one other door out of here that is not the one you came in.
I'm torn between, I think Hutch is going to ask Monty whether it would be easier to try and find the entrance to the lower floor by checking doors or by checking people.
I think Monty kind of turns their head back dramatically and says, "I've never much liked people," and like keeps walking towards the door, and then maybe like pauses and looks back to see if you're gonna follow. Like they're not really sure that was the right move, but they're committed to it.
Oh, it's incredible.
Hutch nods in antisocial solidarity and takes you to the door.
I think they'll add as they get to the door, if we can find something for me to interface with, and they'll do a little smack on the dumbwaiter as they say that. Maybe we can find a map.
I think as the three of you are walking through the kitchen carrying a cart that would normally have food on it, there's someone who comes over and just has like 10 dishes and just starts piling them on your cart, and it's just like, those need to go to table 37 right now. The ambassador from blah, 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 is extremely upset that their food is running late. So you can do something with that or not, your call. But now you have 10 piles of very hot food on your cart.
I say we push the cart very quickly in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
Cool. Solid.
I might look at what the food looks like once no one's paying attention.
Sure. I think you recognize about half of it, and the other half of it, you're like, I don't know if who eats, that's metal. That's just metal. Like,
can I pocket a few pieces of metal?
Sure. Go for it.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so the three of you continue and go out the door on the other side. I think this is a similar sort of hallway. There's a service elevator over here because this is the other door into the ballroom, right? This is just the two waitstaff doors, right? There's a service elevator similar to the one on the other side. Also no down button on this one. Several other sort of closed doors in this hallway. I think as you guys are you going back into the ballroom, or are you going to continue to explore back in this area?
I think
feel
we're
like-
going to continue to explore. I don't think we're going back to the ballroom.
I feel like one of us should bring the food back. Otherwise, it's going to be a wait, what the heck? Where did the food go?
And I think going back into the ballroom, like on a meta level, would also be a good way for us to unsplit the party if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Did you pick up a 4th uniform for Will? Somebody.
I would say when I went in there, I would have definitely taken it once the dude took off.
Sweet. Cool. Okay, sounds good. So the 4 of you make your way back, or the 3 of you, excuse me, make your way back into the ballroom. Table 37, large sort of round table with 10 people around it. You know, it's one of those situations where like 6 of them clearly know each other and are chatting. There's another 2 that are like a couple, and 2 more who are just like, don't know anybody at this table, and they're making awkward conversation on and off amongst themselves. And then I think same. And you sort of put the food down at the table, sort of laying, making your best guess as to who it all goes to, making apologies when you're wrong, etc. I want a roll from somebody to see how obvious it is that you are not trained in this, or maybe you are trained in this, I guess. But I want a roll from somebody for doing that, which is, depending on who's, I guess, with y'all, probably going to be a queer for everybody in this one. Who wants to make the roll? I will let someone else roll crew to help, of course.
I'll roll crew to help.
Okay.
So is that just 1 for me, right?
Yes, that's 1 for crew.
Okay.
Okay, that's a success. So whoever of Monty or Hutch is going to roll queer here gets an extra die on their roll. Who's taking the lead on serving here?
I'm going to suggest rock, paper, scissors between the 2 of them, just real quick off to the side.
Can I nudge Monty and be like, hey, it's just like when you wanted to put down the interface, just interface the food with the table.
God.
Like, their hat tilts up a little bit and their eyes widen, like, oh, yes. Sure.
Yes, that's great advice.
As he spoke to me about interfacing the food with the table, my mind opened.
God. I think that's 2 dice, I think. Unless I don't know if that counts as a real monologue.
No, it was terrible. Don't give me that.
Add on a few more sentences, it becomes a full monologue.
It's a half a log at best.
It's queer, right?
Yep.
Cool. Ooh, it's a success. Just barely.
Yeah, it is indeed. Okay. So then in that case, I think there's some general annoyance at the length of time it took for the food to arrive. But all in all, you are capable enough at like putting food on a table and not being a total fool while doing it, that even if you're not doing it to the standards that would normally be expected here, it's close enough for this group of people who are distracted by more important things, at least to them. So you get the food down on the table. It's no big deal. How do you get in touch with Will? Is this just like an interview thing, like, hey, we have clothes for you?
Are we able to see Will? Like, if I'm looking out, am I able to see him dancing with the magical girl?
Well, who is Will dancing with now? Because I think this is post magical girl. This is the 3rd partner. I want to know who you're dancing with now, Will.
Ooh, I think like someone a little bit older who like is like way better dancer. Like they don't look like they would be the best dancer, but they are, and they're just killing it on the dance floor. Like Will is like trying to keep up with them, just how good a dancer they are.
That'll do. Okay. I think yes, you do notice. You do see Will. I think Will cuts a figure that you recognize at least, especially in their very interesting outfits. It's a little hard to miss. And so you do see him on the dance
I think while Grit and Monty are dealing with the food, Hutch is going to signal Will to come on over this way.
Yeah, I've been watching for them, so I probably see the signal and just like, thank you so much. Like, like they like definitely have like a firm grip and just kind of like have
Of
to.
course,
pry my
youngster.
hands.
Anytime. Please come back for another dance.
I will be back. To give me for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much
It keeps
for your
me
time.
young.
And then I will skedaddle.
Cool. So yeah, okay. So you make your way to the three of them. I think the three of you manage to sort of smuggle Will. Are you going back to the back? What's the plan now that Will is sort of hanging out over by the cart with you? You going back to you smuggling him back into the hallway, or are you going somewhere else?
I think back into the hallway because like we have a cart, so we have like a plausible reason to be going in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once we get back into the hallway, Will can just like duck into the service closet and change real quick.
Cool. Yep. No problem. Will has changed. The four of you all have uniforms of waitstaff on, all fitting well enough that it's not immediately suspicious. And yeah, so the four of you are back there with the cart now emptied of food, but not sure where to go next other than trying to find a way downstairs. Where do you check? Are you going to check some doors back here?
Since the elevators don't have any buttons, there's got to be stairs, right? Like there's no way that they have this vault underneath with no way to get to it. So I feel like we should be looking for stairs. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna smack a wall to see if there's like a hidden panel or something. Just like right behind me. Just to see if
go ahead and
stairs.
roll a queer for me there, Will. I'll give you an extra dice for muscle.
All right. Maybe someday I'll click the right place to do this. Today's not that day.
Yeah, you know, details. That's a success. All these ones. Oh no, that was the last one. Still a one. I was right before it came up, obviously. I'm psychic.
You do.
I knew magic. Yeah, so I think you all, the four of you are just sort of wondering and trying to be like, where do we go? And Will's just like, poof, smacks a wall. And I think what happens is it's just like a cinder block in the wall just like spins in a half circle right where he hit. And on the other side is a down button for an elevator. You are like 15 feet down the hall from the other elevator.
Yeah, well, we'll just be like going down.
I'll do a jokey bow. Like, yes, please. After you.
And I will
Push
hit
the
that
button.
elevator button.
Okay, you push the button. And so I think what happens is across the hall from the button you push, the wall opens up. I think actually it's vertical. I think it's a vertical panel that opens up like makes Star Trek door noise. And inside is a sort of regular sized elevator with like fine wood paneling and like mirrors at head height around. Like this is a very nice elevator that was extremely well hidden. And the four of you step inside the elevator. There is one button on it. Well, there's two buttons. There's a down and there's an up, presumably to bring you back up after. You push the down button, the elevator doors close, and you begin to descend into the complex. And at that point, we're going to go ahead and actually take a short break. We'll come back probably with the elevator doors opening after a few minutes here. So yeah, Jess, if you want to just go ahead and jump us to break or whatever we need to do. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome to everyone who missed the first chunk of the game and also the 3 games before this. But yeah, so we are gonna jump right back in where we left off with our intrepid crew of extremely queer heisty types in a secret elevator to a secret basement. So the 4 of you in your waitstaff uniforms are in this extremely well-appointed elevator that is sinking beneath the ground floor of the Manse Justicar. As the doors open, you see in front of you a single massive room. It's at least the size of the ballroom, if not larger. This is it is nice, like it's made with nice materials, but it seems fairly sparse with the exception of a handful of things. I want to get from each one of you one obstacle in this room. On the far wall is a vault door, like classic old-timey Western bank vault.
I mean, I gotta go for those Mission Impossible laser things.
Cool. So we just got a fallen laser grid.
Yeah.
Is that the whole? Is that the whole room, or just some part of it, or?
I mean, it's cooler if it's the whole room, right?
Sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
I feel like it has to be the whole room.
Okay. Cool. What about the rest of you?
The floor is lava.
Sweet. On board. Let's go.
I'm not sure how we're gonna get past it, but I mean it's pretty bad.
All right, Beans and Corvin. What about y'all? What are your other 2 obstacles beyond lasers everywhere and the floor is lava? No pressure.
I mean, I think that there's gotta be a big, like, I'm thinking like either like a big robot or like a bioengineered monster guarding the whole place.
Sweet. Cool.
Well, this is quite an obstacle, but I feel like there's got to be a big red flashing button somewhere.
Oh, big red
It's
button.
just kind of like near the vault, just flashing, just like touch me, like it's just glowing in the distance.
Okay, so I think what we've got, let's put all these things together. We have a big room with walls of a very nice material and floor completely made of molten lava. On the other side, you can see there is a bank vault door with a small lip of like regular flooring, probably about 5 or 6 feet wide from the edge of the lava to the wall itself with the bank door on it. There are lasers crisscrossing all across this room in a like classic heist style, with the exception that, you know, being on the floor is not an option. And in the middle of the lava I think swims is maybe the right word. It looks like a shark, just a really big shark, except it's made of, I think it's made of like copper and steel, and it emits that like same frigid mist that the train did all the time. So right around the shark, in fact, there is permanently a bit of cooled lava that is just like a rock wherever the shark is. And then actually, not by the bank vault, but you can see just next to the outside of the elevator door, there's a big red button that just says help. The elevator door is going to close very soon. What do you do?
I don't suppose we have any lava shark food left on the cart that somebody didn't take from when we were serving.
You tell me, did you keep some food on that cart somehow? I know that Monty said they took some metal, which is technically food for somebody.
Oh, shit, what if the shark eats metal?
Good question.
I mean, I definitely want to see what it does if something goes in the lava. Anyway, but can I first try to interface with the elevator to keep it down here and open?
Ooh, totally. Yeah.
I'm gonna do one of these. Also,
good. So
I'll hold it for now.
That's a crew roll from Will. So I want a crew roll from Will for sure. You get bonus points from, you get a bonus die from muscle. So 2 dice on that crew roll.
Sorry, I get 2 on the crew roll.
Yes.
Cool.
Because it's definitely a muscle thing for sure.
Heckin' yeah. Oh, nope.
Ooh, bummer. Okay.
It's a big old fail for Will.
So we'll get to how that helps. What happens in a second. Again, what that means is no extra die for Monty, and you can be affected by complications here. Monty, you are going to try to interface with this elevator with your hacking equipment to get the door to stay open and it to stay down here to buy you guys some time to make a plan, basically. Yes?
Yes.
Cool.
Can I say, I know I should only rely on myself in a very noir way to get a noir point?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So you get 3 dice for this one. And this is, you were doing, I think this is probably a queer roll at this point.
Yeah.
This feels more
fair.
like smash than like sneak.
Yeah. I think that's... So yeah, I think just to describe it, I'm gonna bring out my briefcase and open it up. And in the back of the briefcase, there's a little cord that pulls out, basically. Like there's like a little hutch kind of thing, and then a cord that kind of extends. And there's not a plug on it of any kind. It just seems like a cord. And it kind of I just slide it into the elevator at some place where it doesn't seem like a cord should go, and then start moving my jacks and plugs around and hitting my little
old-timey switchboard operator thing.
Yeah, my little switchboard operator.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Shit. Okay.
Make that queer roll for me. 3 dice.
Cool. It was a success.
So it was. All right, excellent. So on a success, you managed to keep the door open. I think Will, you went to try to get the doors open and they just start closing on you, and you're just you're very strong. You are not strong enough to deal with these doors. They're these are not just regular elevator, or I should say this is the vertical door, if you recall. This is not just a regular elevator door. This is it's oh no, with bad news. And so Monty, you quickly managed to get the hack and the door slides slowly back up, much to Will's relief, I think. And the 4 of you sort of catch your breath and look out upon this room again as this sort of steaming mechanized shark swims through the lava.
I gotta go get my mask. I'll be right back.
Oh, very good.
Oh my god.
I wish I had one. I super don't have
I
one.
know, me too.
Can't see, so I'm gonna have to take it off in a little bit.
Yeah, that'll do.
I think I have a Sherlock hat, but I don't think I have a noir hat.
Yeah, I don't have any good ideas.
I came prepared.
Yeah. Well done, honestly.
It's outstanding.
All right, we're just gonna do one of these.
So you were saying that Monty was thinking about throwing metal into the lava to see if the shark would eat it.
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, I'll bring out a handful of metal and kind of flip some of it like I'm flipping a coin, and kind of look around to everyone else should I?
I think that Hutch is very interested to see what happens, and kind of gestures give it to him.
All right. I think I just with one piece at first kind of flick it as far into the lava as it'll go, and to see what our new friend the lava shark will do.
Okay. I feel like this is a roll of some variety. Just give me a 1 die queer roll straight up and down. This is like a fortune roll type scenario, flipping a coin. We're gonna see what happens here.
Cool.
Okay. I think the metal flies out into the air, and I think you learn something about this shark, and that is that it has very quick reflexes, because the metal does not even hit the lava before the shark leaps out, snatches it up in its jaws, and is back in the lava again.
Oh, that's exactly what I
jeez.
wanted to hear. Okay. So earlier, you asked if any of us had dynamite, and I did mention earlier that Hutch is carrying some form of explosive. And so I think Hutch is going to work with Monty, who has to kind of, like, you know how you slip a pill into cheese for a dog? I think we're going to slip the shark a bomb in the same vein.
Yep, I'm on board. Seems good. Okay, I definitely need a roll for this.
I think this counts as smash, probably.
This feels like smash, yeah.
So should I roll heist?
You will roll heist for this. This also feels dark and gritty.
Yeah.
So that's 2 dice. Is anyone helping?
Would I be able to help shove the bolts into the food as well?
Sure, works for me.
Okay.
Roll. So we'll get a crew roll from Grit. I think this is just a 1 dice. Yep, sweet. So that's a success. So that is now 3 dice for Hutch, I think, on this one.
Or was it 1 for dark, 1 for smash, and 1 for the...
So you get 1 just for rolling, period.
Yeah.
You're rolling heist because this is a smash thing, as opposed to rolling queer. So then you get an extra dice for the crew and an extra dice for dark and gritty. So 3
so 3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 dice against heist.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a success, indeed.
That is a success.
It's definitely a success against your 9 in heist. So yeah, I think this does exactly what you want it to. You get a bundle of sort of this scrap metal. Shove what okay, so tell me what this explosive looks like. Is this just like classic like cartoon sticks of dynamite? Like, what's the deal here?
I think this is usually used to like crack a reinforced door. Like it's something that like sticks to the wall and like pops in a very localized central blast. I think there's probably like a flashing yellow LED dot on it, because that's just great. And so I think it's probably about the size of a hockey puck, maybe a little smaller, and about the same shape too.
Cool. I'll do. Okay. And so you get this mixing with the metal. You huck it out into the middle of this very large room. You see the shark go up for it, catch it in its jaws, and then fall back into lava. And then you just get from under the surface, and then it's just like small bubbles, floating brass, no more shark. That is 1 obstacle accomplished. You still have a room full of lava and a bunch of lasers.
When the shark erupted, did his permafrost debuff go away, or did he blow up in a wonderfully shark frozen path for us to hop across?
I think what you get is like for now at least, I don't think it'll last for a super long time, but there is a patch in approximately the middle of the room that looks like a pretty solid, safe rock that has frozen, not frozen, but has solidified some of the lava in the middle of the space. It's still a pretty good distance, but it's, half as much as it would have been otherwise.
I can give people boosts to like get to like if it's like a little bit of a hop, so they can just like to where they gotta go.
So I'm happy to do that. I want to remind you, I did describe this as a massive room, possibly even larger than the ballroom. So the thing you might be doing, Will, is throwing people.
I can chuck a person if I gotta.
Yeah. I want to know what that looks like for you as the sci-fi muscle, specifically, if that's what you're going to do.
So I think Will is like a pretty like average looking guy, but like when like he like does something, like when he was like lifting this door, his eyes like glow green. It's almost like his veins start like turning it, like you can see like the veins in his face, and it's just like it like all the tension goes to like the veins in his muscles, and they kind of like pop almost like a greenish color instead of like maybe a bluish purple is one would expect, and just kind of like pop out as he focuses.
Is this like the Batman and Robin version of Bane? Like the Tim
Sure.
Burton Bane. I don't know if that's a familiar reference to everyone here.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Tim Burton Bane.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. Okay, cool. So you're just gonna huck people onto this magma island, onto this rock island in the middle of magma. Is that what's happening?
I can't.
Is it safe from the lasers? Is my only.
That
I
is a
forgot about
good
the
question,
lasers!
isn't it?
I forgot about that bit.
Is this a moment where Will's about to throw someone and Monty is like, "Oh,
Oh, just a second.
oh."
I also want to explore the button.
There is a big red button that says help just above it. Right next, it's like if you like peer out of the elevator, it's like you could reach it with your arm about 2 feet away from the door. You don't even have to step out. Convenient.
I think Hutch is going to like hover a finger towards the button and just look at the rest of the group tentatively for like either endorsement or a warning.
Would Monty be able to do anything with the button? Like, is there any sort of interfacing, or is it literally just the button that says help and there's nothing there?
I'm happy to have Monty try.
Yeah, I think just in the way I've set up what Monty does, they have a cool plug or a cool cord that seems to be able to plug into anything. So
Sweet
I'm happy to
universal
try
plug.
it as a help. Yes, the actual universal plug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and see what you can. So, what are you trying to do by interfacing with the button? What's the goal here? Are you just trying to learn something? Are you trying to do something?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like I know so much about technology. Maybe it's like my little telegram Morse code kind of motion is kind of like pinging to the button to see like what it's when it's pushed, what its action kind of thing is, I guess, and trying to receive back like whatever I guess code is in the button to make it do what it does.
Okay, so you're just trying to learn what the button actually does, basically.
Yeah, I just want to know what it does.
Okay,
first.
cool. Sweet. So that's going to be I think that's a heist roll for you here. This feels sneak instead of smash at this point. Hacker for sure. And I'll give you, so there's 3 dice, I think. I'll give you Noir 2 for this.
Oh, thank you.
I never know how to pronounce that. Noir.
Noir?
How French do you go with that word, actually?
I feel
would
like
say,
the
like,
Frenchier, the better.
That's fair. Yeah, noir. Yes. It's like new wave, but for gritty crime. Okay, so that is a success. Awesome. So I think what you get is that this big help button will do 2 things. The first thing that it will do is it will turn off the lasers completely. The second thing it will do is call somebody. You don't know who, you don't know what, but it's going to let somebody know that there are people in this room.
Nope.
How uncomfortable are we all with being known?
Are you able, no, I'm not a hacker, I'm just a thief here, but are you able to do any sort of hacking to maybe turn off that signal?
I want a monologue in response.
Also a point where Monty hacked the elevator so that it doesn't go back up specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the elevator is here to stay
they
for
can't
now.
come down. Well, at least
They can't come down in this elevator.
Yeah. What if
So
the
this is the only
button
way.
calls another shark?
What if?
Monty will say, the button and I are having a great conversation. I am happy to try and convince it not to call for help.
Okay. If you're gonna do that one feels like a queer roll because now we're into smash, as opposed to sneak, I think. Or I guess I don't know. Maybe it's socialize if you're talking to the button. Either way, it's not sneak anymore.
Oh, the button, it looks real nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice
That's Will's
color on
advice.
you.
Red is your color.
You look like you've been cleaned lately.
You look good and fresh.
Oh, boy.
I'm not gonna be able to roll.
Oh no.
You
We've
look
broken
like
them.
you've been cleaned lately. Sorry, is it 2 on queer?
This is hacking. Yeah, I think 2 on queer.
Cool. Oh, got a
That's
success.
good. That'll do. Yep. Awesome. So you get the success. So what you're able to do, I guess, is you make it so that I think you don't even have to push a button. What you do is you manage to trigger the circuit that turns the lasers off without triggering the other half of the circuit that would notify somebody. Ta-da! Good job. So you all watch as Monty's switching stuff back and forth on their switchboard, clicking little like telegraph switches, etc. And then a few seconds later, the lasers flicker a couple of times and then vanish. And you have what is now a diminishing island of rock in the middle of this large room, full of lava. Somehow you now have a room full of lava that is a much less intimidating obstacle than it was 3 minutes ago. Good job. So what's the plan? Is this the bit where Beans throws people, or are we doing something else?
Before we get chucked, is there anything on the walls or on the ceiling, like any sort of hooks or maybe some shark vines, if that's probably not a thing, anything up there?
I think I don't think there's anything immediately obvious. I think the walls have texture to them. They're not like perfectly smooth. There's like paneled walls or whatever, right? So like theoretically someone could climb them or hang from them on the ceiling, etc. But there's no like ladders or like ropes or whatever. You could make something like that happen theoretically. I'm interested in hearing how, if that's what you want to do, but
I think you said the walls are paneled, right?
yeah,
I think
I did say that.
Hutch is going to try to like... I'm trying to think of how to physically describe this. Like, grab on from panel to panel. It's like climbing, but sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And just clinging to the wall.
This is like some Ninja Warrior stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
Extremely exercising those very small finger muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing this rather than opt to get tossed across the magma lake.
Hutch has been burned one too many times on a heist and doesn't want to take that to a literal level.
Okay, I was going to say literally.
Not yet, but
Cool.
let's not get there.
Okay.
We'd like to keep that record clean.
All right.
Basically.
So I'm gonna say this is a you were on sneak, right? Or were you?
I was in Smash.
Smash. Okay. So then I will give you. I'll call this Smash. I'll give you a heist roll for this, because this is a physical feat for sure. And not as opposed to this would be in like D&D. This would be athletics rather than acrobatics. I think is the line here. And I'll give you dark and gritty for this, because this is gritty.
Yeah.
So you get 2 dice here,
Okay.
unless someone is helping.
I don't know how.
Sounds like a no. Yeah.
All right. 2 dice.
Mhm.
Oh, thank goodness.
That
Okay.
is a success. All right. You guys are succeeding a lot today. Yeah. So you get 2 dice, or you get a success. You all watch as Hutch sort of climbs up on the wall a little ways and then begins to just sort of like do like a full like sideways monkey bars thing. It's frankly very impressive. as he manages to begin sort of sliding sideways along the wall. What are the rest of you doing?
Watching. Like, impressed.
You're just going to let Hutch get across at this point? You're not going to try to get across yourself? Or it's fine if you're not. You are perfectly within your rights to wait in the elevator.
The throwing offer still stands.
I think Monty similarly, doesn't want to be thrown because they think it's undignified.
Nobody tosses the hacker.
Don't toss me, please.
Nobody tosses the Noor hacker.
I think they're maybe hoping that Hutch has got it, and then if they need to jump in at any point, maybe they'll try and figure it out then.
I kind of want you, Will, to throw me at the wall, the other wall, so we're both going on each wall.
Yeah.
And we can meet on the other side.
Got you. I'll give you a good toss.
I'm sure I'll be able to grab onto this wall.
Nothing will go wrong with this. This is a foolproof plan.
No flaws on this plan at all.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay.
I got this.
Hey.
Can I have a roll. This is perfect. I have a roll of duct tape in my pocket. I don't know why it's in here, but I'm going to cover my legs and my arms. I'm going to make like a double-sided tape, and I'm just going to roll it on myself, and that way I can just to the wall and then kind of go from there.
Yes. Homemade Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Hey, that'll do. Yeah, true. Okay, let's see. This is terrible and very good all at the same time.
It's an awful idea.
Yep, true. Okay, so we need. Okay, I'm trying to decide. I think the role here is Will's, not Grit's.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that.
I think Grit gets to roll crew to see how effective the duct tape shenanigans are. And that is helping Will be successful.
Are you throwing me overhand or underhand?
I'm trying to think of a
I'm
pitch.
lanky. I'm thin and lanky, so it should be okay.
Will like do one of these, crack his knuckles, loosen up a little bit, and I think I'll do just an overhand, just a toss, gentle toss.
Just throwing a person like it's a shot put. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm so scared.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh no.
It's just lava.
Yeah, just lava.
It's lava.
All right, so give me that crew roll from Grit. Okay, that's a success. I see it. Okay. Ooh, that's a success with complication. Which means Will gets the extra die, but Grit is still Grit can still be harmed by the complication of Will's roll. Fitting.
It's gonna go great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doing it.
Okay, so you get an extra die for so this is a queer roll for you. You get an extra die for help, you get an extra die for muscle. So 3 dice.
Oh, I only rolled 1 because I forgot. I got a success, but I can roll another dice, I guess.
No, you got a 1 on it. It's not getting any better than that.
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, you get a success. So then what happens is you get this shot put huck, and it's impressive. Monty, who is watching this, like Will is like not a particularly big dude, and like you knew that he was strong, but like holy shit, Grit just goes like in a very pretty like arc across this huge room and just perfectly sticks the landing onto the wall opposite from Hutch.
I'll just say impressive after it happens.
When I'm flying through the air, I just want to be like, woo! And then just thunk. I can't believe that worked.
I was like, wait, you didn't think it would work?
I mean, 50-50.
Will did not consider this.
Okay,
We
so I
gotta
think
get that key. Some things are more important than your life.
so. Hutch and Grit both make their way, one via incredible finger strength, the other by the strength of duct tape, across to the other side of the room, where they both stand in front of a very imposing, just gigantic old school bank vault door. Before they do anything, Beans and Monty, are you going to hang on the other side? Are you doing anything else right now?
I'm sorry, I'm monologuing in the chat. That's what I'm doing right now. If I seem distracted. As I watched the crew, I realized there's more than one way to throw something against the wall to see how it sticks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was just going to be in the chat. I'm staying in the elevator. I feel confident here. I have my setup. There's no lava, and I'm keeping the elevator doors open. So I'm going to do my best to trust the people who are climbing against walls over lava. Feels like a thief time to shine, I think. So I'm kind of sitting back.
Will?
I'm just kind of on deck. I'm ready. If someone needs me to like bolt over, I will. Haha. But I'm just chilling. I'm just kind of like also like maybe making sure that like no one like sees like comes down, and I'm ready to fight if I gotta.
That'll do. Okay. So, then we've got Grit and Hutch on the other side, standing in front of this bank vault door. Huge vault door. What do you do?
I think Hutch is going to pull a dark and gritty maneuver that has worked before but really shouldn't, which is to try to find a precise way to shoot the vault door in a way that damages or breaks the lock.
Yes, a Han Solo.
Of course, yes. Because Hutch is definitely the type to dual wield. It probably won't be both. It'll probably just be one, because that other hand has to keep hold onto the wall.
What kind of weapon do you have, Hutch?
I think it's like a standard like black like 9mm. Like it's very John Wick.
Right, gotcha. It's just like a very standard, like, this is a pistol.
Yeah.
Cool, gotcha. Okay. Cool.
It's a Hollywood gun.
Yep. Solid. Okay, so you're just gonna try to like shoot into this to make it open without like to like shoot through the lock, basically.
Yeah, to shoot the lock dead.
Love to murder a lock.
It's time
Seems
to kill
good.
a lock.
Cool. Is anyone helping, or is this all Hutch?
I mean, I'm over there, but I'm not. I don't
know if there's a way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like.
Figured I'd ask. All right, Hutch. Go ahead and make this roll. I think this is. You were on Smash, right?
Yes.
Cool. So this is a heist. I think you get an extra die for dark and gritty. I don't know if you get a thief die here. I'm happy to hear justification.
I mean, I think breaking into a vault, because on the one hand this is smashing, but it's also a form of lock picking.
You know what? That's fair. You're smashing literally the door to a vault. I will give you thief. That is 3 dice.
All right, here we go. Okay. That's
you did
good.
it. You did it. That too, saving the day.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. All right. So then with that one, I think you pull the pistol out and precisely aimed shot managed to blow the lock, and the door swings open, and behind it you see a large, not large like the room you're behind you, but large for a vault, large vault with a single object on a pedestal, and that object is just a small brass, not small, but like a brass key.
Hutch is gonna gesture kind of an after you to Grit.
Is the floor in this room normal?
It appears normal.
Okay.
Like tile.
Okay, fuck it. I'll jump in.
So you jump forward and you hit a wall because this is a painting on a wall.
Oh, man.
Because someone has taken cues from a cartoon.
These jerks.
What do? There is a wall behind this vault door.
I'm going to yell back at the people back there. It's a freaking wall!
Do you want me to break it?
Might need to.
Yes.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
I gotta get over there, I suppose.
How do you do that?
Is how much is like lava shark frozen? Is
I think you've got a couple feet diameter of that or so.
All right. Trying to decide.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of like maybe like, because Will is, while very like muscular, is also like very good at doing all sorts of things, and I would like to hopscotch across.
Oh, okay. Like across the lava itself or across the rock?
The rock.
Okay. So you're just doing like a big hop and then a leap on the rock and then land on the other side. Okay, cool. Okay. Sick. I can see it. Give me a queer roll for that. I will give you sci-fi for this, because I think what's happening here. This is you being a friggin' alien doing some weird shit.
Yeah, like my eyes have definitely turned green, and then like, whereas like my arms were really muscular, it's like now like the green is like all of my legs.
Yes, leg day mode.
Leg mode. Hold up. I mean, all of mine are the same. All right, one success.
That is a success. You did it. So you all just watch Will like back up in the elevator, get like the small 2-foot running start that he can get, and leap like the 30 feet to this small thing, and then just like skip, getting 1 foot down on the other one, and like come to a sliding stop on the floor on the other side of the room. Golf claps from the invisible audience. Yeah.
So I'm like breaking a wall.
Here's the wall.
All right.
What if it's not even behind this wall?
This is a queer roll.
I mean, hopefully breaking this wall will lead us to somewhere that isn't lava.
Yeah, that's true.
The only one way to find out. This is queer? All right.
This is queer. Yeah. This is muscle for sure. So this is 2 dice.
Heck yeah.
That was a success. Clean success. So you just sort of wheel back, and you're just doing a punch, right? Like that's the...
Yeah.
Cool. Wheel back. And I think there's just a fist-sized hole in the wall, and then suddenly around it, the rest of the wall begins to crumble. And behind it, you see the vault itself, which looks exactly the same as the picture did.
I'm not going first this time.
I have a question.
Yes?
How big is the vault door, and what is it made out of?
The door itself? Like how thick is it when you mean how big? Or like
how big, like because I assume it's a round door, right?
It is a round door, yes.
What is the diameter of this?
I would say 6 feet, maybe 7.
So,
and it's made of metal of some type.
Okay. I think Hutch kind of...
There's a big smoking hole in a chunk of it now.
Yeah.
Courtesy of you. Yeah.
I think Hutch kind of nudges Will and just says, want to smash that off, see if it melts?
Sure.
Okay. I think you can tear this off the hinges. I'm not going to make you roll for that. That happens. This is your idea, Hutch. Give me just a flat queer roll. This is a we'll see what happens roll.
Just one die?
Just one die.
All right. That is
exactly a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what this means is it floats, but you can see it is slowly melting away.
Do you think that it has enough life in it for a two-way trip?
A two-way trip?
Yeah.
I think it could, but that would be, you'd have to hustle, and that'd be it.
Okay, so getting Monty over here would not be feasible.
Probably not a great plan.
Okay, but
like you could get them over here, but then you'd all four have to get back somehow. And question mark?
Yeah. So I think as long as we hustle getting the key, the vault door should be unmelted enough that we can use it to kind of get our way back over. So while that door is cooking, I guess Hutch takes the first step into the vault.
Okay, you step in. Nothing appears to happen. There is a pedestal about 3 feet high in front of you, and sitting on it in like a small, like clear plastic stand is a brass key.
I think Hutch pulls a metal ball, like just a plain metal ball, out of his pocket, eyeballs it in comparison to the key, and tries to do an Indiana Jones.
Okay, Hutch. Give me a queer roll for this. You get
All
points. Right. You get a die for thief. So this is 2 dice right now.
All right. 2.
That two doing the thing. I think you're able to successfully swap this out. And this is, you just said like it's like a ball bearing type thing.
Like a fushigi kind of.
I do not know what a fushigi is.
Basically just
oh my god.
It's just a what? I'm sorry.
Just a really big ball.
Oh, sure. Cool, that'll do. Swap. You step away slowly. Everything seems to be fine. You look at the ceiling. There are no large stone spheres that are about to drop on you. Okay. Everything seems extra fine. You can turn around holding a key in your hand, which as soon as you touch it, as soon as you pick it up and take a second to think about it, you can feel it in you. This is the key for sure. This is not a double. This is not a fake. This is a key, capital K.
All right.
And now 3 of you are on the other side of a lava lake. There is no longer an island in the middle.
I think Hutch is going to slip the key into his coat pocket in an area that would be hard to reach because he's starting to trust these people, but he still doesn't want either of them to swipe it at the last second.
That's fair.
And then
Hutch is not out here to lose his payday.
Exactly. Yeah. He needs this payday. He's going to beckon his fellow thieves in arms to get on the vault door turned lava raft.
Would Will be able to like do the same kind of thing and like hold on to us like one in each arm and like do like a running jump to try and get some momentum to like push the raft? Don't use us as ours. Push like get momentum to push it across the lava lake.
Oh yeah.
Just please don't put me in the lava.
I don't recommend that course of action. Let's see. It feels like, I don't know. I don't know everything about your characters. Maybe you got some reason that would work, but it feels like that would go poorly for you at a glance, at first blush. Maybe not great.
I don't mind the running start. I think that makes sense. I can do that.
Okay, so we're getting a running start onto the vault door turned surfboard.
Oh my gosh, that is what it is.
3-person surfboard, like you do.
Like you do.
Lava surfing. That's what this has become.
Okay, so then I need a queer roll from Will. You get points for muscle here.
Okay.
I'll give you points for both, actually, because this is like more than just being strong. This is some wild shit. So 3 dice.
Okay. This is queer?
Yes.
Okay. Whew, this is a success.
That'll do. So the 3 of you, there's a running leap with the 2. Okay, would be alright. So I think Will just scoops you up in the both of you up in his arms, does like a full run from like inside the vault onto the door, and like comes landing on the door, which begins to like slide out at a pretty decent pace into just straight ahead through the magma, and sort of moves quickly at first, and then slower and slower, and then eventually comes to a gradual halt just at the outside of the elevator, and the 3 of you step in.
I can't believe that worked, Will.
I'm
My man.
Anything.
And Hutch says, I don't say this a lot, but thank you.
Got you. Are we ready to head back up?
Let me ask the elevator.
The elevator says yes. You are free to close the door and head up at will. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We should probably be prepared, just in case. They might be suspecting us. You never know.
Will's like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
The 4 of you, or I guess the elevator closes. The 4 of you find yourselves in this finely paneled elevator with the mirrors at shoulder head height. Again, it rises up to, and it feels like it's going further up than it did last time.
Can I start talking to the elevator?
You can.
To try and convince it to not do that?
You may. I would like you to roll queer for that as you socialize with the elevator.
Absolutely. Can I monologue about how what's a noir detective thing to say, like dames never listen or something terrible about the elevator? Tech never listens.
God.
The thing about elevators is they always bring you down.
The thing about God.
I think I have to relinquish Monty to you now. I think that's how this works.
You have
Bequeath the noir.
Oh,
Lovely.
Incredible. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, so
boy.
I'll give you 3 dice on this queer roll, Monty.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You're really giving Hutch 3 dice on this.
You know
So
what?
good.
It's good enough. Woof. I'm glad you got that 3rd dice.
Me too. Thank you.
Yikes. Yeah. Okay. So are you trying to figure out why this is happening, or are you trying to stop it from happening? Like, are you like, where are we going, or no, stop, let us off here?
No, I think my instinct is stop, let us off here.
Okay.
I think that's their go-to.
Okay. So it begins to go up, and then you all feel it sort of like shudder, drop down a few feet, and then the doors open into the same hallway that you entered before, with the sort of secret that had the secret panel. The 4 of you step out. The hallway seems empty, normal as it was. As you look over, you see someone else wearing the same uniforms that you are as waitstaff make their way out of the kitchen and into the ballroom. What do you do? Where are you going?
Does it look like anyone is on to us?
Nothing appears to be that way immediately.
Is our cart still there? Was it in the elevator with us?
I assume you probably. I don't know. Did you bring it in the elevator with you, or did you leave it outside?
Did.
Yeah, sure. It's in the elevator.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I don't know why you would have left.
Oh
it,
yeah,
I guess.
because the briefcase was on the cart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think Monty, if we're going for a movie, I think there's like a noir close up of Monty grabbing the uniform that they have on. And it just cuts to a shot low from the ground of the uniform falling on the ground, and they're in their original attire. Like they're ready to go into the ballroom now.
We get a quick change sequence consisting of that for all 4 of you, basically. Yep. Assuming that's what all 4 of you want to do.
Yeah.
Sounds good
Yeah.
to me.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. And so the 4 of you step back make your way into the ballroom, where the party continues on unabated.
Before we actually go in,
Mhm.
I just want to turn to Hutch and be like, you got the key on these clothes, right? Because I've done that before. No judging. Just
Hutch takes a second, pats himself down, reaches into the pocket of the uniform, fishes the key out. And puts it on him.
Good.
perfect.
Okay. So the 4 of you then make your way out into the ballroom. Are you all going to just leave now? Because you can leave now. You can head out and catch the train to wherever you want to go.
I think our work here is done.
I think if we try and do anything else, we're compromising our mission. And I think getting the key out of here safely is the most important thing to do right now.
I want to dance with that guy again.
Yeah.
Are you
I gotta go more dancing. Y'all can go,
Okay.
but Will wants to dance more.
Okay, so Will, you go to find that older gentleman who's a very good dancer. Have yourself another dance before you go and catch the train.
Just one last dance.
The other 3 of you make your way out to the ballroom, being as relatively inconspicuous. You're good at this. Walk out to the ballroom doors, down the long hallway, out the front door into the courtyard with the statue of the judge. And standing in front of the statue of the judge is a judge. She stands 6'3", has biceps the size of basketballs, and her mask for the masquerade is just a dark visor that covers the top half of her face, RoboCop style. And she's wearing the judge's clothing. As a reminder, judge's robes matched with nun's habit, body armor, cowboy boots. It's extremely imposing. And she steps forward. She takes one step forward and she says, "Well, hey there. I was wondering when someone might be leaving a little early. My name is Judge Antoinette. It's nice to meet you."
Hi, how's it going? My name's Grit. These are my 2 boyfriends, but they friends, girlfriends, everybody's friends. I'm sorry, I'm really distracted. I have diarrhea and we have to go.
Oh, I'm sure you're in quite a rush.
Yep, very much so. I mean, it's, we gotta go. I gotta go. We need to go.
Yeah. See, funny thing about that, I'm
Your
sure
food here is just so bad. I don't know. The chefs just, not good. Stomach, not good. Gotta go.
You probably ate the metal. I don't recommend it.
Yep.
So the funny thing about y'all needing to leave quite so fast is, well, your friend over there, with the hat, well, I'm pretty sure he's got something that belongs to me. And I can tell that because it's mine and I can feel it.
Is it your heart?
Oh, no. You wish very badly it was that. And she takes another step forward, and you hear just the jingle of spurs on the back of those cowboy boots. So I'll be needing that back now, and then I'll be needing the 3 of you, and anyone else who might have helped you, to accompany me to the sentencing room. Thank you very much. Or, of course, if you'd prefer, we can do this the hard way. And she pulls out of a pocket of her robes a gavel. And then she takes this gavel and she twists it between her fingers like she's spinning a pin. And when she finishes twisting it and grabs it, it is suddenly a two-handed sledgehammer. So, easy way, hard way. I'll leave it up to you to balance them scales. Yes, Will.
Could I, at about this point, would this be about the time that I finish up my dance?
Yes, it would. That is narratively appropriate.
So I would like to come in as I see this. I was like, I'm going to crack my knuckles. I'm just like, I think I could do one more dance.
Nice.
I think I got one more in me. And just like look at her. Just ready.
Oh. A challenger approaches.
Ma'am, I bow.
Oh, you got manners, do you? Very well.
Sure, ma'am.
Let's get at it. And I think she just goes full run, fucking just anime, like, just absolutely.
I'm
like,
going to go forward. Let's
hammer
do
over
this.
her shoulder. Yeah, cool. So I am going to need a roll from Will. This feels like this is a queer roll. I'll give you muscle for sure on this one. So 2 dice.
Cool.
Give me a reason why this is sci-fi. Does anyone want to help?
I'll help. I think Hutch is going to draw his dual pistols and just start like going ham, trying to give cover fire to give Will an opening, because there's no way that like you're gonna actually shoot the judge, but you can at least throw her off.
Okay, so I need a crew roll from Hutch.
This feels dark and gritty.
This does feel dark and gritty. I'll give you 2 dice for this.
All right. Oh.
Ooh, that's a failure. Why are you all only failing crew rolls? That's very funny.
It's very symbolic for Hutch.
Yeah, fair. It's just like y'all have the only dice you've outright failed the whole night have been crew rolls, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then Will. So make me that queer roll. I think you're getting 2 dice for this.
Yeah, because like my eyes will glow.
Mm-hmm.
And like kind of like the same muscly as before, but it's like, oh, they've grown. It's not just like the green and the veins. Like, Will's like here to really fight. Like he's been holding back a little bit.
Oh, good. We're getting Super Saiyan Will now.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go. So, do you want? Okay, cool. Yeah, that is extremely a success. Okay, I think you rush forward and just do you just fight like bare knuckled? Are you just going fisticuffs here? What's the deal? Do you have a weapon?
It's just my fists, man.
Okay, cool.
Will's just got really like there's definitely something about like his bones that's just different from like a normal person. There's just something about him that's just like, oh, you're not just a dude. There's something up here.
So tell me what it looks like as the two of you sort of go full on, just like 2 freight trains running at another. She's got this huge like hammer. What are you dodging the hammer? Are you knocking it away? What is the blow you take on her? You make on her look like?
Will's just kind of like just a second faster and just like sees like the hammer's just like just smashed right to the side of the face.
Okay, cool. So you just get there first.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to dodge it. You're just faster than she is. Okay, cool. Just poof, and I think you get the thing where like the head just like snaps to the side and then slow turn.
Yeah.
Right then. And then it goes right back into it. Is anyone else going to do anything, or is this mostly just Will going to town?
I think while they're fighting, I would get into the Nair pod and say, Hutch, this is your chance. You need to get out of here with the key.
Hutch takes the cue and breaks for the train.
Cool. I need a queer roll from you. I think 2 dice for thief.
Because I am stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, God.
Finally, I failed roll. It happened.
Oh, God.
Blah, blah.
So what happened was you make a break for it, and you begin running, and I think you get partway there, and then just like literally just leaping out of a window on the top of the building are 3 of these guards with the sunglasses and like the steampunk cyborg guards, and they just surround you. It's 3 of them and 1 of you. You do not make it to the train just yet.
Can I then? I think Hutch is going to take a moment of trust, pull the key out of his pocket, and throw it to Grit.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Hey Hutch, give me a crew roll.
All right.
1 die, because this is neither dark and gritty nor thief. And this is outside of the written rules, but this is definitely just a straight up crew roll. Cool. So you huck that key, and I think it goes flying. And I think will you watch just a hand stretch out from Judge Antoinette, and she just grabs it out of the air. Well, she's just looking straight at you, Will. She doesn't even look at it. She just grabs it. What do the 4 of you do?
I'm gonna go for it if no one stops me. Like, I'm just gonna like just try to like pin her down or try to rip it out of her hands.
Sweet. Cool. That's a queer roll. 2 dice.
I keep hitting not what I need.
Been there.
All right. Boom. Success.
You did it. Cool. So I think you just dive at her, right?
Yeah.
And, like full on flying tackle and just knock her to the ground. And I think the key goes like sort of scattering off a few feet away from the 2 of you. Who acts? I think I want this to be Monty or Grit here.
Since it was being thrown to me, I would say that I was like right there and go to hopefully grab it.
Yeah, I think you managed to go scoop it up. What are you doing with it?
Oh God. Well, I was gonna say that we should just run, but I feel like we have to fight now. So I'm going to pocket it into my yellow duster that I have back here, and then I'm going to grab. Oh gosh, what are those things called? That's like 2 balls. Oh God.
Oh.
And there's like a string and like one of those. I want to freaking throw one of those at her legs, hopefully, and try and trip her.
All right. Yeah. Cool. She's beginning to get back up to her feet. You toss the bullet at her. Give me a queer roll. Grit. I'll give you dystopian for this, I think. But not thief. Yeah.
Hey.
Cool. That'll do. So you manage that, and you manage to sort of tangle her feet up in this weapon. And then and you begin to split. Monty and Will, what are you doing? Hutch is still tangled up, I think, with these 3 guards who are very menacingly stepping quite close to him.
I want to fight them. There's a cooler way to say that. I have some thoughts about what my briefcase can do.
Yes, good. Tell me about what your briefcase can do to these steampunk cyborgs, Monty. I'm curious.
Some thoughts that have just occurred to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think like visually this is like a mix of me holding the briefcase and like the handle extending from it so that I can actually like hit with it and stuff, but also the cord that came out of the bottom of it, out of that little hatch, there's like a couple of other ones that come out as well, and they're like sparking. So maybe by like both throwing my briefcase around and also these like oddly kind of like tentacle cords with sparks on the end, maybe I can get some people to step back.
Okay. Give me a queer roll. I think this is 1 die. I'll give you 2 die. No, this is 1 die.
I'm talking to my briefcase. Can I have hacker?
I'll give you Nor for talking, for talking to an inanimate object.
Okay, great. I'll take it.
So 2 dice.
Success.
Yes.
I really
Okay.
needed
Cool.
that. Oh no,
Awesome.
actually, it would have been success either way.
Yep.
Anyways.
But yep. Okay. So I think. So I guess tell me what that looks like. You describe that for me.
Cool. So I think it's like I don't know that Monty is like particularly adept at hand-to-hand combat. So it probably looks more like flailing than like John Wick. But it absolutely is. They're like absolutely using the briefcase both as a weapon in the pummeling fashion and just like flailing fashion. But also the cords are kind of coming out and maybe like I don't want to say like awfully electrocuting people, but like
freezing up the steampunk parts and stuff for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I dig it. Okay. So I think with that distraction, Hutch, you're able to break free of the 3 of them, and the 4 of you are making a break for the train. And I think as the 4 of you run, there's like one last I think Judge Antoinette has broken free of the bullet at this point and is beginning to run for the 4 of you at extremely high speed, like impossibly fast. You know that once you get on the train, it will leave and you will more or less be safe, because you know that you can get to a point that you can escape to another multiverse. You have a multiverse gate key. You can get out of here whenever you want, as long as you can like get like 10 seconds to use the key. So I think I need one more roll from somebody to try to get away, to try to beat the judge back.
With the way I've been rolling, it's not going to be me.
So she has a nun habit on the top, right? But what's covering her eyes again? A visor?
RoboCop visor?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to, out of my trench coat, pull a spray paint can and take it off and shake it up and just try and aim for her mask and her eyes so she can't see, and just spray over that.
Will, it looked like you had a thing. It looked like Will had a thing too. Do you want to tag team this? Did you have a thing?
Yeah, I was gonna try to trip her, so I feel like this could be boom boom.
Ooh.
Yes, good. Give me the crew roll from Will.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll give you 2 from Muscle here.
Nope.
Roll another one. You only rolled 1 dice, it looks like.
Oh, maybe I'll learn how to do this. There we go.
It's all good. Okay, so that one did it. Cool. So that's a success. So this is going to be 3 dice on queer for grit because it's definitely dystopian.
Okay.
Plus the crew. Sweet, nailed it. Level 1 on the last roll of the game. So then she's running at you. Will, you just sidestep and trip her. She lands. Grit leans over and just does spray paint all over the front of the visor. So she effectively can't see without getting this visor off, which is trouble because it's, why would she have put on an easy to remove mask? She's too extra for that shit. Let's be real. And the 4 of you hop into the train car. The train begins to pull away, and Hutch takes the few seconds to pull the key out, figure out how it works, turn it in the air, and open a gate to somewhere else. And the 4 of you step through. And with that, we'll call it a game.
We did it.
Woo! Yeah. Woo! We beat lava.
Yeah. Well done, everybody. You have defeated a shark lava in a laser room. Well done.
Monty was looking for a challenge. I don't think it gets any harder from here.
No, that's fair.
That was
Honestly,
it.
well done. You found it. Yeah. So yeah, thanks so much everybody in the audience for coming out to watch. Those of you, especially who came in and rated, and everybody who's been from the beginning or popped in partway through, thank you so much for coming. And extra bonus thanks to everybody who donated. I think our total at the moment is $1,027.69. Feel free to toss in some last minute donations if you're able. That would be super cool. But yeah, thanks so much to everybody who watched and donated. Thanks to the sponsors who were here, Lucky Hand Dice, Heartbeat Dice, and Roll20. Please go check out their stuff. They make good things, I promise, really, really, truly. And thanks so much to GoJG, Jess, for putting all of this together, for making this happen. It's been a great event. I'm so happy that I was able to be involved and GM and watch some of these games. And thanks, of course, to the 4 of you for playing. This is fantastic. I had a great time running this game for y'all. We're going to go ahead and go one more time around the circle in the opposite direction so that everyone can give their names and where you can be found, any projects you're working on or anything you want to plug. Britt, let's go with you first.
Cool. You can find me at Feeling Fickle on Twitter. And you can find the games that I make at feelingfickle.itch.io.
Okay, Hutch, or not Hutch, the other one, Corvin.
I'm Corvin. You can find me on Twitter at Corvin Appleby. I recently put out a small collection of poems. It's called When the Edges Come Home. If you just look up When the Edges Come Home by Corvin Appleby, you should be able to find it. I might also drop a link in the chat, if that's all right.
Yeah, put it in the Zoom. Yeah, that. Cool. And then Beans.
Yeah, you can find me at Wizards and Beans. I know to speak. You can find me at Wizards and Beans on Twitter. I also, on Thursdays, I think we're getting close to the end, I've been playing on Channel Other Doc in our Game of the Sprawl on Thursdays, which is powered by the Apocalypse. We're getting into some real shenanigans, and it's been a great time if you want to check that out.
And Rain.
Hello, I'm Rain, or the Rainbow Bard. You can find me on Twitter or Twitch. I have kids, so I don't get to do a whole lot, but, you know, when I do things, they're usually around. So if you check me out, there's going to be screaming kids. So, you know.
I feel you. Same. I'm Q at Polyamorous Q on Twitter, or at Q Game Design for where you'll see me yelling about the work I do and tabletop games in general. You can find the games that I make, including this one, Queer Heist Crew Multiverse Mashup, on my itch page, itch.io/quintessential_gaming. The link is in the chat. I make bunches of stuff. Mostly it's indie games. I do have some D&D homebrew content up on DM's Guild as well, but I would prefer people buy my other stuff because reasons. But yeah, go check out my itch page and buy my games, and check out everyone else's cool stuff too. I think that is everything. At this point, I think this is it. Yes. Everyone, please go ahead and enter Lava Floor into the chat for the very last giveaway of the night. I'm going to go do that in just a moment because I want cool dice. So yes, that's Lava Floor in the chat, please. And at that point, I think I'm going to go ahead and say that we're done, and I'm going to hand it back to Jess so that she can kick us out of the stream completely. Thanks so much, everybody, for playing and for watching us.
Night. Thank you.
Night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.